Janavalabha. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the Son of devotees. All glories to Shishi Guru Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskritya Naram Shiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. We are reading from Śrimad Bhāgavatam. Śrimad Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, Explanation of Devotional Service, Text 34. Manasaitani bhutani Manasaitani bhutani Pranamed bahumanayan Pranamed bahumanayan Ishvaro jiva kalaya Ishvaro jiva kalaya Pravishto Bhagavan iti Pravishto Bhagavan iti Manasaitani bhutani Pranamed bahumanayan Ishvaro jiva kalaya Pravishto Bhagavan iti
Pranamed bahumanayan Ishvaro jiva kalaya
Pravishto Bhagavan iti
Manasaitani bhutani Pranamed bahumanayan
Ishvaro jiva kalaya Pravishto Bhagavan iti Manasaitani bhutani Pranamed bahumanayan Ishvaro jiva kalaya
Pravishto Bhagavan iti Manasaitani bhutani
Manasaitani bhutani
Pranamed bahumanayan
Pranamed bahumanayan
Ishvaro jiva kalaya
Ishvaro jiva kalaya
Pravishto Bhagavan iti
Pravishto Bhagavan iti Manasaitani bhutani Pranamed bahumanayan Ishvaro jiva kalaya Pravishto Bhagavan iti Manasa with the mind Etani to this Bhutani living entities Pranamet he offers respects Bahumanayan showing regard Ishvara the controller Jiva of the living entities Kalaya by his expansion as the super soul Pravishta has entered Bhagavan the Supreme Personality of Godhead iti. Thus, translation and purport by His Divine Grace by Charan Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Such a perfect devotee offers respects to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as the super soul or controller. Purport. A perfect devotee, as described above, does not make the mistake of thinking that because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Paramatma, has entered into the body of every living entity has become the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is foolishness. Suppose a person enters into a room. That does not mean that the room has become that person. Similarly, that the Supreme Lord has entered into each of the 8,400,000 particular types of material bodies does not mean that each of these bodies has become the Supreme Lord. Because the Supreme Lord is present, however, a pure devotee accepts each body as the temple of the Lord. And since the devotee offers respect to such temples in full knowledge, he gives respect to every living entity in the relationship with the Lord. Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that because the Supreme Person has entered the body of a poor man, the Supreme Lord has become the Ridra Narayana or Pur Narayana. These are all blasphemous statements of atheists and non-devotees. Manasai Thani Bhutani Pranamed Bhaumanayam Ishvaro Jiva Kalaya Pravishto Bhagavaniti. Such a perfect devotee offers respects to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as a super soul or controller. Sarva Shastradi Piyusha Sarva Vedaika Satpara Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadya Sarva Lokaika Dripada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Śrimad Bhāgavatam Prabhu Kalibranto Ditadita Shri Krishna Parivartita Paramananda Pataya Premavarshya Aksharayate Sarva da Sarva Seveya Shri Krishna Namostate Mateka Bandhu Mat Sangit Mat Guru Mat Mahadana Mat Nishtaraka Mat Bhagya Mat Ananda Namostate Asadu Sadhu Tadina Tini Chachutaraka Hanam Hanamuncha Kadachimam Premna Hrit Kantayos Puraha Mukam Karati Vachalam Pangum Langayate Giringat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shiguru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So, congratulations to all who went through the Monday morning program. It's quite an achievement after this weekend, and especially the Sunday feast. So I'll try not to make you all asleep now. Try to make some jokes. So in this verse, we are hearing about the equal vision, Samadarshina. Samadarshina is explained by the Acharyas and by Srila Prabhupada as the situation of when we don't have separate interest from the Lord. Okay, we don't think that I have my interest and Krishna has his interest, and we are, in a sense, competitors. I wake up in the morning, and I'm the rightful proprietor of the next 24 hours of my existence. And there is some Krishna here also, some temple commander or guru, whatever. And he is also competing with me for the next 24 hours of my life. He wants something. He wants a piece of the cake for himself. But it's mine. So I sometimes, because I'm a good person, I give away something. Because others, they'll kick me out of the temple, whatever. But actually, it's my time. And I have my separate interest. And I want to use my time as I like. Like this people go to the job from 9 to 5, and then they're waiting. They enslave their mind and their senses to somebody for money, but they're waiting. And when it becomes 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they're like this, Jack in the box. Jack comes out. Oh, now it's my time. Finally, I can use my senses the way I like. And we shouldn't have this similar attitude. Of course, we still have it to some extent, but the advanced devotees, they understand that we don't have separate interests from Krishna. My interest is Krishna's interest. If I surrender fully my energy to Krishna, then only I'll be happy. And then another definition given by the acharyas, samadarshana means that this devotee, he sees others' happiness and distress as his own. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains in 6th chapter. The advanced yogi, he sees equally, just like other people are happy or they're suffering. Just like I'm suffering and happy sometimes, and so the other people also. So in this way, it's very natural to have compassion for all. So this equal vision doesn't mean that we treat everyone in the same way. So these are two different, similar concepts, but we have to also to discriminate. We all spirit souls. We are all equal in this sense. However, we have different material conditioning, and we have different material natures, and we cannot treat everyone exactly in the same way. This verse from Bhagavad Gita, which is often quoted, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihastini Shunicha Vesvapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. In this verse, we have the dog eater, the elephant, and the Brahmana. But although we see them equally, we're supposed to see them equally at least, we don't treat them in the same way. The Brahmana and the dog are not treated in the same way. If you do, you consider it uncivilized, foolish. Living entities in the material world, the conditioned souls, we have different bodies, and these different bodies have different needs. If you try to, out of your mental speculation, your whimsical thinking, if we try to come up with a type of equal thinking, equal seeing, equal samadarshana, speculative type of equality, then we'll be unsuccessful. The elephant requires a huge amount of food, and human beings requires much less. So if we say, if you propose, no, this is the portion for all living entities, we're equal. So everybody should eat that much, and it's something in between. So neither the elephant, neither the human beings will be happy. It will be detrimental for all of them. So the only way we can have this balanced, harmonious way of lifestyle, is by following the Varnashrama. That's it. That's the thing. By following the Daivi Varnashrama, the orders of Krishna. Of course, this Varnashrama, even in our movement, is the very word Varnashrama is kind of banned from certain circles because of the association, because it reminds people about the caste system. Varnashrama has been abused for a long time in India, and people have been exploited and subjected to unfair treatment, etc. But still, this is the only scientific description of different types of human natures. And to understand our own material conditioning, it is a part of the self-realization.
because we need to engage our conditioned nature in devotional service. And if we're not aware, or our leaders are not aware, at least to some extent, what is this conditioned nature that has to be engaged, it will be more difficult. Then we will try to, then we have only two options. Either we'll pretend that we are Paramahamsas, that means we just sit under a tree in Mayapur, go somewhere in around these mango groves around the Jagannath temple, for example. It's still a quiet place, relatively. Sit under one of these trees and chant whole day and whole night. Or then we will have some social divisions, but they'll be speculative. They'll be based on our own imagination, because we reject the system of the Lord. A human being has to have a religion. Either he will accept the religion that is given by Krishna, or he will manufacture his own religion. And this is what happened in 20th century. When people rejected God, they came up with all these false social concepts like communism. Then Hitler came, and so many things happened. And as some philosophers predicted, even before that, millions of people will be killed, murdered because of these speculative theories. So Varnashrama defines who we are materially, although we're spiritual by nature, but we're conditioned. So Varnashrama defines all these different positions that we can take, and it defines them in the pure state, defines also different mixes that can and will happen, and defines the respective duties. You cannot have relationship between people unless, at least between civilized people, unless their duties are very well defined. Because relationship means duty. At least human civilized relationship. For example, Varnashrama describes what is a guru, who is a guru, who is the disciple, what are the qualities of the proper guru and the proper disciple. Describes man, masculine and feminine nature. Nowadays, people they're not sure anymore what is a man, what is a woman. They don't know. Many people think that all these concepts are social constructs only. To unpack this, if you're not aware of what that means, a social construct would mean these are not real substantial things. They are, man and woman, the sexes. But they are just human conventions, social conventions. People just came up with these ideas. Okay, we'll designate you as a man, and we'll designate you as a woman. And, of course, patriarchy means men are stronger, they will oppress women. The whole history of human race is presented as a constant struggle. One entity oppresses and exploits the other. And we know, this is of course, Srila Prabhupada also says, it's a struggle for existence, jiva jivasi jivanam. What else? Cheaters and the cheated, etc. But the problem with this is that this is not just this is not mental speculation. It is given by the Lord. It has substance in the spiritual world. And what is this substance? The beautiful pastimes of Radha and Govinda from Goloka Vrindavan. This is how we explain the masculine and feminine nature. It goes back to Krishna and his creation, the eternal pastimes in the spiritual world and in the material world, because this material creation is also a pastime of the Lord and his energy. In the 6th canto of Bhāgavatam, it is described how Lakshmi Devi provides all the paraphernalia for this material creation. That means our mind, our body, our senses, everything is provided by Lakshmi Devi, and all this is supposed to be engaged in service of Krishna. So if we want to be good boys and good girls, we will take proper part in this pastime. Otherwise, we'll have our own idea and we'll be unsuccessful. So Varnashrama defines what is proper proper duty, the inherent nature also of all these positions: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, man, woman, child. Explains our identity and explains how we are supposed to connect this with Krishna. And then we can run our material life as smooth as possible in this material world and have happy life as much as it is possible, and then go back home to Godhead. Varnashrama shows how we can have good material facilities. And if rejected, then we'll have to substitute it with some other social system, which will be in the mode of passion, rajas and tamas. This is the alternative. So, here in this commentary, Srila Prabhupada speaks about the Mayavadis who Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that because the Supreme Person has entered the body of a poor man, the Supreme Lord has become the Ridra Narayana or Purnarayana. Sometimes one may wonder how come that this Mayavad philosophy became so prominent, so much so that Prabhupada's Pranam mantra is Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarvi. Prabhupada's Pranam mantra is not something like Radha Krishna Prema. He came to give Radha Krishna. He came definitely to give this, but he didn't. Anyway, he came to liberate us from impersonalism, Buddhism. How come that this philosophy became so prominent? Because if you take a close look at this philosophy, it is very appalling. Mayavadis basically say that the ultimate state of existence is impersonal. That means the most attractive feature of our lives, the personal interaction, is actually an illusion. It doesn't exist. But that's what this human life is all about. That's what people try to achieve. That's why Srila Prabhupada explains in the Nectar of Devotion that everybody is looking after rasa. Rasa means the sweet taste of a ripened fruit. And people try to find this rasa, this sweetness, in the relationship with other people. And Mayavadis say, no, this is all illusion. It doesn't exist. So why this would be popular concept among people? Why? The answer, at least partially, is exactly here. That this, according to this philosophy, we are all God. There is no God, there is no supreme control. I am God. You are God. But I am God, and you are, okay, you are me, basically. So this is the reason, the conditioned soul, therefore we are here in the material world, because we try to be God, to become God, and then Mayavadis, they confirm this. Yes, you're right. Then we say, I knew it all. I knew it. I'm the Supreme, of course. But if somebody tells you, you are just insignificant servant of God, very small, insignificant, then the conditioned nature goes, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. Mayavadis, so this is against all logic also, because the Mayavadis say that this material world also is a complete illusion. It doesn't have any connection with anything real. There is nothing real besides Brahman, Nirguna Brahman, without qualities, without form. So according to our philosophy, this world is temporary, but it is based on reality, just like counterfeit money. They're false, but they're based on real money. And in the same way, this world is temporary, illusory, but it is not illusion. It is based on the real spiritual world. And another problem, there are many problems with this philosophy. We cannot now exhaust all of them. Another problem is everywhere in the Shastra, in many places at least in the Shastra, it is stated that Brahman, the absolute truth, also in Vedanta Sutra, Brahman is the cause of everything. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. So that means this creation has a cause. This is Brahman. The Mayavadis say no, there is no cause, because this creation doesn't exist. It's illusion, so there is no cause. And they say this because they think in this way they will save the unchanging nature of Brahman. Because this creation changes, that means it degrades all the time. You know. Objects go throughout these 6 transformations. They appear, then they exist sometime, for some time, then they give byproducts, then they dwindle, and then they vanish. So the Mayavadis think if we make any connection between this creation, this temporary material creation, and Brahman, that means we'll degrade Brahman. And Brahman doesn't change. This creation changes. So that means we have to cut any connection between them to save the transcendent nature of Brahman. This is their foolishness. And in order to do this, Shankara, he even hinted that Vyasadeva has made a mistake in the Vedanta Sutra. And the Vaishnava answer to this it's called Shakti Parinamavada. This is our philosophy. And the Mayavada philosophy is called Vivartavada, theory of illusion. And ours is Shakti, the energy, the Chintya, the unconceivable energy of the Lord, transforms. And the Lord himself, he remains as he is. But his energy transforms into material energy. Why? In order to facilitate stupid living beings as those in the material world. We are not so stupid because we at least try to remember our connection with the Lord. So in order to facilitate their purification, the Lord creates this material world. So in this way, the Lord remains as he is. He's never in touch really with the matter, but his energy changes. And this is another problem for the Mayavadis, because they don't accept that Brahman has energies. Brahman doesn't have Shakti, he doesn't have form. Even saying he is misleading, because he means a person, masculinity. Brahman is neither masculine nor feminine. It's just it, I guess. And he doesn't have desires to fulfill. He doesn't have plan, therefore there is no connection between Brahman and this material world. So what is this material world? It's simply illusion. And then the problem is, next problem, one of the many problems. Okay, if everything is just one, then what is Maya then? Because you have Brahman, but then you have Maya. Is Maya real? Is Maya actually real, or it is illusion? It is illusion, but is this illusion or it's real illusion? That's the question. And their answer is, there is no answer. They say, you cannot talk about this. Anirvachaniya. It's neither real, it's neither real, nor is unreal, nor it is both real and unreal. You cannot speak about this. Simple answer. And yeah, simple for the stupid. And this is just one of the many logical contradictions in this philosophy. So, another thing I wanted to speak shortly. Here it is said that perfect devotee can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Paramatma that has entered into the body of every living entity. I cannot, personally, I cannot see that. But I will share one or two examples from my life when I could see to some extent how the soul inside this body has a natural proclivity, natural tendency to serve Krishna. Although it doesn't look like, from outside you cannot tell this. It doesn't look like it should be like this. It looks like this person completely has forgotten Krishna and doesn't have any proclivity, any desire to remember devotional service. So these are two stories from book distribution, from Sankirtan. Once many years ago, I was distributing books and then I saw a blind person, and but he was somehow or other moving. I forgot. I think he had an assistant, and they were moving together. They were walking, and then there was nobody around. So although unlikely, he would take a book. I had Bhāgavatam, first canto. Back in the day, we had so many first canto Bhāgavatam in my country that we were just distributing first canto because we had to sell these books. They were getting old, you know. And when they get old, you cannot sell them anymore. So it's like, for years, I think for 5 years, we were just distributing first canto Bhāgavatam. And so much so, we were so, what's the word? So engrossed, yeah, flooding the market. I wish, so engrossed in these ideas, so that in the morning, while chanting our rounds, we'll take one of these, because this is Krishna, and we'll chant like this. And we pray to Krishna, please, I want to distribute at least 10 Bhagavatams today. So this was our very intense meditation. So then I stopped this person, and he was listening to me. I explained something. First thing that I noticed how carefully he's listening, because in the moment when he understood that these are spiritual books, he became very Haribo. Something happened in his heart, and he became very he was very alert, and he could not see me, but he could, you know, these people, when one of the senses doesn't work properly, then the other senses usually become very enlightened. Blind person. Oh. So he was listening very carefully. Then I understood. So now I should be very cautious what I'm saying, and also my mood should be proper, because now my voice and my mood is the only thing that this person has now as connection. And then I don't remember what I said, but Krishna allowed this, gave his mercy, and then this person purchased first and second part of first canto, and then somebody was supposed to read these books to him. That was the sorry.
Blind person reading the book.
Yeah. And then another time, I was distributing books we were together with Tulsi, Prabhu, in a small town in the middle of nowhere, and somehow, I don't know why, I never do this, but I thought it's fun. Maybe I was bored. It was not enough, I was not Krishna conscious enough. So I was looking at the people around, and I was thinking, okay, who amongst these people has a chance to take a book? And then I saw one elderly gentleman, and I thought to this person, for example, his chances are 0.1 or something. He doesn't have any chance, practically zero. Okay, now I'll prove this. Something like this. I went up to him and I very quickly explained what I'm doing, and he was little elderly. I guess he couldn't hear properly, so he was just confused. And then I thought to myself, you see, yes, so this guy doesn't have any chance. So I just turned back and left and started to look for somebody else who has better chance. And then after a few minutes, I heard a voice, hey, please come. You said that these books are about God. I want one of those books. And I saw the same person. It took him, because I'm moving fast, and I was young back then. And he was following me for quite some time, trying to catch up with me. Then he came, he bought the Science of Self-Realization. He gave enough money. So these are two examples I wanted to share. I don't have this equal vision to see Paramatma. I don't see even the Atma most of the time. But sometimes, by Krishna's mercy, the Atma just shines forth, shines through all these coverings. And then even if you're blind, like me, you cannot not see it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I think we should not prolong too much this lecture. People are tired. And if you want to say something? Hare Krishna. It doesn't work.
It's never going to work. I think it's gone. Anyways, it doesn't get picked up by the audio anyways. This is where...
Okay, I'll repeat the question.
Two things. One thing is, I remember in teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving an argument that how you are saying that we are God, because in the Shastra it is described that the living entities are one of the energies of God. So he is making the point, how it is that that energy is equal to the source of energy.
Yeah.
You are saying we are the source of energy. No, Shastra is saying we
It's
are
against all logic.
So I like this argument.
Yeah, just, if you allow me, please remember what you want to say. Who is watching movies sometimes? Okay. You know the Bhakti Vikash Maharaj. You know that he made a list of karmi movies that are allowed for devotees to watch. You know, there's some. You know how many movies ended up in this list? Okay, so but there is a movie called Madhvacharya. Do you know about this movie? It's a bona fide movie. You can watch this one. It's about the life of Madhvacharya. So in this movie, there was something similar happened there, because in this case, Mahaprabhu was the disciple of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Right? This was the conversation between, and in this movie, the young Madhva, Vasudeva was his name when he was small. He decided to take sannyas when he was really young. He was really young, maybe 8 years old. He just left his parents, he went to the Gurukula of his guru, Achyuta Praksha, and he surrendered, and the guru just let him stay. And the next day, the father came, the mother and the sister came, and they were pleading with him, please come back home. And then he was very determined. And then but he promised to his parents that he will not take sannyas until they have another son. And then when his brother was born, then he took sannyas. And then he made a deal with them. And then the very first day after he took sannyas, the next day, his guru, now he's sannyasi, his guru started to teach him Shastra. And then the first lesson was on, I forgot the name, but very prominent work of some Maya, because his guru was, this was the pastime of Madhvacharya, the guru belonged to the Mayavadi, just like Mahaprabhu's guru, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And then he started to teach him this Mayavadi, the opus magnum of the impersonal school. I forgot the name of this great Mayavadi. Sharyak Bhashya. No, it was No, this Sharakya-bhāshya is by Shankara. This was a follower of Shankara who was very great proponent of Shankara's teachings anyway. And then the introduction, the Anubandha Chatushtaya, the auspicious invocation to this book, in the invocation, the author, this is what Achyuta Preksha read aloud. This book begins by the author offering obeisances to himself, because he is Brahman, he is Narayana. This is the beginning. And then Madhvacharya interrupted his guru, and he told him, what is this if there is no difference between the author and Narayana? If there is no difference between the guru and the disciple, then why are you my guru and I'm your disciple? Why are you teaching me now and I'm supposed to be your disciple? Then I should teach you then. And his guru became so angry that this was the end of the lesson. The guru just left. And then all other brahmacharis, they were upset with Madhva. They came to him and they said, why you upset the Guruji from the very first day? And then the guru was so angry, he didn't want to eat, he didn't take lunch this day. And he was sitting and reading, and then looking at Madhva, and Madhva was also reading and looking at him. So please continue. That was very funny.
And I remember also one time, I think it was one of the Vyasa Puja classes, his Holiness Ramakrishna gave, and he said his disciples, like sometimes before they ask me if I see God, well, I can tell you I don't see God, okay? But very often I see the hand of God in my life. So many times I saw the hand of God in my life. And he said, and they also asked me if I have realized my spiritual goal. Okay, now to tell you clearly, no, I did not.
I have no idea what is my spiritual.
But I can promise you one thing, I will never feed my lower nature. I'll leave my lower nature to starve, to die. I'll never give any food to my lower nature. In regards to sin karma.
Yeah, thank you very much. Something else?
I just remember one of the relationship on the same point about the Srila Prabhupada, our great Acharya, he actually saw Krishna all the time. And one recollection is that his first disciple, Prabhupada, so Acharya Prabhupada, he saw Srila Prabhupada dancing one day for one festival. Srila Prabhupada was celebrating the festival alone. Janmashtami, yeah. And so we didn't know that Srila Prabhupada is seeing Krishna all the time. He never really proclaimed that, and people tried to defeat him sometimes, you know. But Acharya Prabhupada said he saw Srila Prabhupada with this beautiful garden. Srila Prabhupada revealed to him that he was seeing Krishna. He was, have some intensity for Krishna. And Krishna came and gave him this garden and disappeared, So he was so happy. So sometimes, we are thinking maybe someone has seen God, maybe someone has seen God, but somebody may challenge that. But Srila Prabhupada, he was so humble, that he never tell anyone all the time that but we can acknowledge that in order to give Krishna, he has that in carrying Krishna. And as you were saying, when people born from the lower nature, is from the material conditioning. But when they are taking birth from the Atmaja, like how Brahma was, he is taking birth from the higher nature. So when one takes birth in spiritual life and they become the Dvija, that is from the higher nature, and that is from the real Father. And Srila Prabhupada is the real transcendental Father. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Haribo.